Sentada por cortesía de The Finishing Touch.
12 del mediodía.
Y es hora de que vayas a The Finishing Touch a comprar tus pisos y azulejos. Visita The Finishing Touch en Benqueviejo, San Ignacio y Belmopan. O llama al 824-2577. The Finishing Touch.
If you're looking around for the best tools in town, Toolcraft is a hardware line of tools with quality guaranteed, regardless of your need. Shop tools, garden and power tools, lawn and masonry tools, wheelbarrows, carpentry and electrical tools. Come and select all the tools for your home or office project. Toolcraft, the best tools to get the job done at an affordable price. Number one, available countrywide at a store near you. Distributed by Universal Hardware, Chatham Street, Belize City, and the Center Road, Spanish Lookout.
Holly Jolly Christmas with Diginet. This Christmas, Diginet is giving all their customers a double treat. That's double the speed for the same price. From now through January 2019, 5 meg customers will enjoy 10 megs for the same $69. 10 meg customers enjoy 20 megs for the same $99. And 20 meg customers enjoy a whopping 40 megs for the same $169. Aw, thank you. Not a Diginet customer? Now is the time to sign up or make the switch. Visit a Digi office near you to find out more.
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
So have a merry Digi Christmas with double your internet speeds, double the joy, double the fun. Only with Diginet.
True or false? Belize has a great chance of winning at the ICJ. True. We have the 1859 treaty, the 1931 exchange of notes, and the fact that we gained independence in 1981 after over 150 years of owning from the Rio Hondo to the Sarstoon. Guatemala never occupied any of Belize. All of these things are 100% in our favor, and the ICJ will consider these when making their decision.
Be informed. Visit our website and social media pages.
People from all over the world, from the richest to the poorest, eat tamales. Some people can barely talk English. Some barely Spanish, but they want tamales. And they love it. Living in Belize is life. We have one beautiful country. When you live in a valley like this, you don't trade it for nothing else.
Maga season. Nobody look forward to it. But what if I tell you we have the remedy for Maga season? Yes!
What kind of remedy? Hey, what kind of remedy?
Quick Stop Personal Finance Center have the remedy for Maga season. If you come into our office today, you may qualify to get either 50% off your interest, double your last loan, or get a pre-approved $1,000 if you don't want government employee. So don't make Maga season get you down, because Quick Stop Personal Finance Center got the remedy, no hassle.
Whenever I talk to other young people, I remind them of how lucky we are to be living in Belize. We live in an open democracy. For example, although our government feels that we should go to the ICJ to deal with the Guatemalan claim, they still have to get permission from us. This is why it's super important for young people to register, important for young people to vote, and ultra important for us to do some research so that our vote benefits our country. I am Renata Samuels, a youth leader. I have registered, I have researched, and I will vote yes to take Guatemalan's claim to the ICJ, because I know that we have title. Guatemala only has a wish list. Register, research, and vote.
You have the power to end this unfounded claim. Vote yes. This message is brought to you by the Vote Yes for Belize campaign.
Boy, I'm late again. What? Done ain't there yet? I've more time to sleep then.
Ugh, where'd I put my license? What? More cash? Yes.
Oh my God, that's a huge slice. More for me.
Money.
Who doesn't love having more of your favorite things?
Start your money right.
With Digicel's new prepaid data plans, you get more data to do more of the things you love. That's more chats, more snaps, more surfing, more videos, more everything. So go ahead, live your best life with Digi. Whatever that may be.
Strangers in the night. You should know this by now. You're my number one. Don't take my kindness for weakness.
In the new year with a spectacular next-gen promotion. Enjoy 1 month free internet and speed boost, plus a free MyTV subscription when you bundle. Get your Debo free today and join the growing number of happy customers with access to tons of video on demand, 24-hour playback features, and quick access to YouTube, Netflix, social media apps, and much more. For a limited time offer, get 1 month free Debo 3 rental when you bundle. All bundled customers with 20 megs and up get a complimentary Debo 3. Don't miss out on this great deal. Get your Debo 3 today. Some conditions apply. Next Gen, powered by Central TV and Internet.
On Wednesday night at 8, tune in for a special presentation on Channel 7. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where Jules Vasquez and Adeli Ramos take on Asad Schumann. They'll challenge this champion of the ICJ and ask, is ICJ really the only way? Find out on Wednesday night at 8.
A well-known Belize City businessman, Michael Williams, was executed on Sunday morning. He is the son of icon of the hot sauce, Marie Sharp. Williams was shot dead on Northfront Street after midnight. The family is convinced it was a planned hit, but they are baffled as to why anyone would want to take his life. Courtney Weatherburn has more.
Almost every day, Michael Williams would be at the Marie Sharp's Main Avenue warehouse in the city, overseeing deliveries and carrying out other duties as the general manager. His staff enjoyed his company, especially his employee of 19 years, Ismael Rodriguez, who celebrated his birthday with Williams on Friday.
Thursday was his birthday, so until Friday he decided to take me out now. So, very sad.
You were very close with him. You guys had a close relationship?
Yes, man, we're like brothers.
And it hit Rodriguez and Williams's family very hard when they got the news that Williams was gunned down on Northfront Street early Sunday morning.
Still deeply hurt of what has happened to my dad, all of us. I got the news Sunday morning around 8 o'clock via Facebook. And, you know, we left immediately to Belize City, and we've heard what had happened, that he was killed on Northfront Street.
According to the report, Williams was dropping off his girlfriend at her home on Northfront Street. While they were parked in front of her house talking, two gunmen emerged and one of them shot Williams, shattering a driver's side window and hitting him in the shoulder and armpit.
They observed a golden color SUV parked on the right-hand side of the street. Inside of that vehicle, the motionless body of a male person was seen, who was later identified as that of Mr. Michael Alexander Williams, 58 years, general manager of a Belize City address. Upon opening the vehicle, police found that he was suffering from 2 apparent gunshot wounds to the body.
At this point, neither Williams' family nor the police know why Williams, a beloved father and well-known businessman, was targeted.
We want answers. It wasn't just a random thing. It was a hit. I mean, honestly, it was a hit. And we want answers. We want justice. We're depending on the police to get answers. We're working closely with them.
He has no records with the police, and the female who was along with him is also a person that does not show on our records likewise.
Anything to indicate if he was set up, any at all?
We don't have no indication up to now, and we don't have a motive as to why he was shot.
So as police work on this puzzling case, Williams' family has to cope with the loss of another loved one in just 2 weeks.
He was a very good man. He loved his family. He loved his business. He's the eldest son of Miss Marie Sharp. He went out of his way to help anyone as well. He had so much friends in Belize City especially. Everyone is shocked. Everyone's surprised. And as you see on the social media and people coming here, everyone, you know, they always remember Mr. Mike. Everyone loved him. Mrs. Sharp just lost her husband a couple of weeks ago, and now that her son. So right now, we boys, right now we're being there for my grandmother and my mom, who deeply will miss my dad.
Reporting for 7 News, I'm Courtney Weatherburn.
Williams leaves behind 3 sons. Police are questioning his girlfriend, but at this point, they have no suspects. This weekend saw one other murder on Saturday night when 23-year-old Giovanni Tablada was killed on Fabers Road. Police are looking at several different angles to find a motive. Alex Courtney found out that relatives of his have been targeted for months, culminating now in this killing.
23-year-old Giovanni Tablada was shot dead on Saturday night while socializing with friends and family on Farbers Road Extension.
Police visited the Carl Houston Memorial Hospital, where they observed one Giovanni Tablada, 23 years, Belizean, suffering from several apparent gunshot wounds to the body. He was pronounced dead on arrival. Initial investigation is that Giovanni Tablada was socializing along with other family members at number 9899 Farbers Road Extension when he was approached by someone who fired several shots at his direction, causing the above-mentioned fatal injuries to him.
Tablada's death was definitely no accident. Police believe the gunman specifically targeted him out of everyone in the home at the time. His grandmother also believes the killer waited for the opportune moment to strike.
And I believe they're hiding the fact, but I feel like someone knows. People saw his face and everything because he was waiting for Giovanni, because everyone moved from around there. That person waited until his uncle moved away and his brother went home to do that. So I think it was a direct target.
But why would somebody target Tablada? Well, at least 3 of his family members have been shot at in the last 4 months. Investigators are also theorizing that the murder could be in retaliation for the stabbing of Keenan Faber at Pier 1 Bar in September of last year. But that's not the only lead that they have.
There are several things that we are following up. We have heard the theory of a female being involved. We are also hearing about the incident at Pier 1 and another incident. So we are following the 3 incidents that it is being rumored around.
While all the details of Tablada's murder are still being investigated, all his family wants is for his murderer to see justice.
It's more than a shock. It's pulling on me a lot because I really loved him. I'm not a retaliating person. I'd like the law to find out exactly who did it. That's all I'm asking.
Reporting for Channel 7, this is Alex Courtney.
Police recovered 4 9mm shells from the scene, all found their mark in his body. As Koa mentioned, police are currently looking at 3 potential motives for the murder. There was also a broad daylight shooting that has left a 21-year-old fighting for his life. He is Marcos Zelaya. On Saturday morning around 10, he was walking on Complex Avenue in the Martins area when a gunman drove up near him and shot him several times. Zelaya is in the hospital in a critical condition tonight. We met his dad, Jose Zelaya Sr., who is a well-known street figure in the area. He spoke candidly about his son's shooting and the connection to the ongoing gang rivalry in that area. Here is that interview.
Me, my two nephews and my niece left for my house, heading towards my home. My son stopped at the corner of Mahogany Complex and buy tacos, and that the weapon they follow him from. My son stopped and talked to me for a brief moment. I see the vehicle, but the amount of people where they out from Saturday morning, never expect it. As soon as my son ride away, the vehicle swerved away from me, cut off my son, and that weapon happened. When I turn around, the first thing I see was a man show himself from behind the driver's seat and give my son one shot in the back of his head. That the first shot when my son received in the back of his head and dropped on his face. The vehicle come to a complete stop and the gunman shoot about half of his body and shoot 3 more shots from my son. At that moment, I reacted and I run behind the vehicle. The vehicle take off. My son shooting that me a plan hit by the BLC, the Bacalan scripts. This is a plan hit. And I say it because I know it and they know it. I personally have no retaliation for do against me. None. 8 months ago I lose my son. And this incident have nothing to do with my son murder 8 months ago, so that's the first thing I want to clear up. I got underworld connection. But my underworld connection have nothing to do with my son shooting. Whatever connection my son have to the underworld, I can't stop nothing from that because that's not in my hands and that's not in my power.
As you heard, Zelaya's other son, 20-year-old Jose Jr., was murdered in Corozal in May of 2018. Now, as it relates to his older brother, Marcos Zelaya, today at the police press briefing, police confirmed that his shooting was a gang-related hit and that it may be connected to the murder of Joseph Bab, who was a major player in a gang that is based in the Gungulong area. Here is more from police.
Is there anything suggesting that his shooting is connected to the murder of Joseph Bab, I believe?
Well, we suspect that it is of the different rivalries and different shooting that have been happening in that area. And there's a possibility, yes, that is one of the motives.
So Mr. Zelaya has a connection to one of the gangs?
Yeah, he is connected to one of the gangs there.
Is there any fear from police about retaliation in that particular neighborhood? And if so, what will the department be doing to mitigate against?
Yes, there's a high tension of probable retaliation, hence the reason police is vigilant in that area. Police are patrolling mainly that complex area, the Jones Avenue, Lawrence Avenue, and other avenues where it is traversed by these criminals, no?
Joseph Bab, who was considered the boss of the Bacalan Scripts, was killed on January 2nd of this year. We take a break now, but when we come back, a major and hazardous fire in the south on the Placencia Peninsula. We'll tell you what's the danger, plus we'll have the latest on Diane Zabadi and the Department of the Environment. Don't go away.
Affordable roaming rates. I can now roam without borders.
Visiting the U.S. or Mexico, prepaid and postpaid customers can make calls at even lower rates than in Belize while enjoying local rates on texts and reliable data connection wherever you roam. So go ahead and go without borders.
With roaming rates so low, it's like I never left home.
The Tile Gallery at Venice boasts full HD large format tiles from around the world. With no two pieces being alike, you will get the strength and durability of porcelain with the unparalleled look of stone, wood, marble, and other natural elements. We have over 1.5 million square feet always in stock for immediate delivery. If you have unique requirements for your project, Venice welcomes you to browse catalogs from our top brands to satisfy your needs. You can then complete your purchase with adhesives, grouts, and accessories from preferred manufacturers at the same great prices. So visit a Venice store near you or call a sales representative that will assist you in calculating and selecting the right tile to make your floor or walls the showpiece of your home or office at prices that can't be beat. The Tile Gallery at Venice, featuring HD large format tiles. Beauty you can appreciate, prices you love.
Evening, miss. Give me a 100 piece at 21 now. How am I supposed to know if I win?
Ever been worried about not being in the loop? Worry no more with D-Loop. You can now stay in the loop and get all the information you need, like Fantasy 5, Pick 3, Bolito, and lots more. On top of that, you can choose to get it daily or only when you need it. To get D-Loop daily, send START and the keyword, example, Bolito, to 35667. You will receive a confirmation message. You shall then receive the content daily at a specific time. For example, you will receive the winning Bolito numbers around 9:30 p.m. after the live draw. To get D-Loop when you need it, send GET and the keyword, example, Bolito, to 35667. You will then receive the information immediately. So, stay in the loop with D-Loop.
Only with Digicel.
Fantasy 5, the biggest game in Belize, continues to do it bigger and better than any other. Fantasy 5 pays out $500 for matching 4 numbers and $25 for matching 3 numbers. Match the letter drawn and claim your free ticket. Get all 5 numbers drawn in game night and you are the winner of the jackpot plus the accumulated amount. It is without a doubt Fantasy 5 is the best. Fantasy 5 continues to draw live on Belize Into the Bone and Channel 7 every Tuesday, Thursday, and Saturday at 8 p.m. It's the best game in Belize. Fantasy 5. We bring entertainment and dreams into people's lives.
Registration continues countrywide at Elections and Boundaries offices. Register today to vote in the ICJ referendum. For registration information and locations, visit www.elections.gov.bz.
It's a holiday
Holly Jolly Christmas with Diginet. This Christmas, Diginet is giving all their customers a double treat. That's double the speed for the same price. From now through January 2019, 5 meg customers will enjoy 10 megs for the same $69. 10 meg customers enjoy 20 megs for the same $99. And 20 meg customers enjoy a whopping 40 megs for the same $169.
Aw, thank you.
Not a Diginet customer? Now is the time to sign up or make the switch. Visit a Digi office near you to find out more.
Hey, Dad.
Hi.
So have a merry Digi Christmas with double your internet speeds, double the joy, double the fun. Only with Diginet.
Nassau groupers are now critically endangered throughout the Caribbean due to a greater than 80% decrease in populations over the last 50 years. The greatest threat to Nassau grouper is overfishing, especially on spawning aggregations. The loss of pristine coral reefs, the grouper's primary habitat, is also a major factor in the downward trends in populations. Belize has 13 spawning sites that are fully protected and closed to fishing all year round. They include Rocky Point, Margaret Key, Dogflea Key, Sandbore, Key Bokel, South Point, Emily or Key Glory, Northeast Point Glovers, Gladden Spit, Nicholas Key, Rise and Fall Bank, Seal Key, and Northern Two Keys. Additional legislation to protect Nassau grouper includes a closed season from December 1st to March 31st the following year, no harvest of less than 20 inches or greater than 30 inches in total length, and all harvested fish must be landed whole outside the closed seasons. This message is brought to you by the Wildlife Conservation Society Belize program.
On Wednesday night at 8, tune in for a special presentation on Channel 7. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where Jules Vasquez and Adeli Ramos take on Asad Schumann. They'll challenge this champion of the ICJ and ask, is ICJ really the only way? Find out on Wednesday night at 8.
Wow. Oh my God, she drunk. No hurry, I got this. Goodness. Oh my gosh, it's the artist.
Being the hardest. The artist. But you had way more than 2 drinks tonight, love, which is a legal limit to drive. What about you? Can you drive?
Well, I was drinking soft drink all night, so I can drive her home. Aw, thanks, Bree. Of course you say, you know I got you. You're my girl.
That's what I like to see. Friends don't let friends drive drunk, cause you can't replay in a real life. Stig says so. Can't replay in a real life.
You never know when it might happen. You can't afford to take chances with your safety. You can't afford to take chances with your life. Because you never know when it might happen. always be safe because you never know.
There is a major industrial fire on the Placencia Peninsula at this hour, and the fire department is warning villagers from surrounding communities to be alert. The fire is at the Belize Aquaculture Limited, the shrimp farm known as BAL, which is right at the first major turn at mile 4 on the Placencia Road. The fire department has sent out a public advisory noting that the BAL storage building is on fire, and the public hazard is it involves unknown quantity of ammonia and chlorine. There are concerns that fumes from these toxic chemicals could reach the nearest villages, Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz, which are 4 miles downwind of the fire. Villagers are being warned if smoke does reach, they will have to evacuate to a safe area. The fire department also warns if you or anyone suffers symptoms from smoke inhalation, move them outside to get fresh air and seek medical attention immediately. We'll have more on this story as the news continues. A businessman was held up today in Belize City, and it happened right next to the Customs Department headquarters, a compound that should be highly secured. According to information, around midday, 2 men on bicycles held up a businessman, threw him to the ground, and stole his wallet. He was heard shouting for help. He didn't have much cash, we are told. Police did not have a report on it when we checked this afternoon. It happened outside the main compound on the street between the Customs building and the Queen's Bond warehouse shed. Earlier on in the news, we told you about 2 murders and the near-fatal shooting in the city. Well, there was another Belize district shooting this weekend. This one happened in Mahogany Heights. Here's what the cops had to say about the shooting of 51-year-old Rodwell Calvin.
The second shooting happened at about 1:30 at Mahogany Heights. Mr. Rodwell Kelvin, a 51 years old security guard, was riding his motorcycle on an unnamed street in the Mahogany Heights area along with another male person, and whilst they were traveling towards the George Price Highway, a male person who was standing on the roadside fired several shots at their direction, causing him to receive an injury to his right hand. He was admitted, treated, and discharged on the same day.
Any preliminary information as to what may have spurred this particular shooting?
Yes, we understand that it is a dispute among 2 gangs that are based at Mahogany Heights, which has caused this shooting and other previous altercation at Mahogany Heights.
Police have a suspect who they are actively seeking. As we told you last week, the UDP cabinet sent out a unanimous endorsement of the yes to the ICJ position last week Tuesday. And this weekend, the ruling party's National Party Council met to do the same. A press release says that a vote was taken on the ICJ, quote, resulting in a resounding unanimous decision to endorse Cabinet's declaration in fully supporting a yes vote as the United Democratic Party's official position. So, with the UDP now declaring, quote, full and unwavering support for a yes vote, and the PUP declaring last week that it is a firm no, April 10, 2019 is coming down to what we're all so used to, a race polarized along stark political lines. But real political power is not at stake, so likely the contest between the parties may be decided by which side can find money to mobilize their votes. Police made several substantial drug busts over the weekend. The first was in Benque Viejo del Carmen, where a mobile patrol spotted Melchor resident Ivan de Jesus carrying a black bag onto a bus. After a quick search, the cops found and caught de Jesus trying to smuggle large quantities of both crack and cocaine. ACP Joseph Maivet told us more.
On Saturday last, sometime around 5:30 p.m., Benque Viejo police were on mobile patrol near the Benque Viejo bus terminal when a Hispanic male was observed with a black handbag attempting to board the bus. As a result, police followed him into the bus, where a search was conducted on the bag which he had in his possession. Upon opening the bag, the police discovered a transparent parcel which had 2 different bags of white powdery substance suspected to be cocaine, and when weighed amounted to 492 grams. Also, another parcel was in the bag which when weighed amounted to 29 grams of suspected crack cocaine. This person, later identified as Ivan de Jesus Lopez, 34 years, Guatemalan, of a Melchor address, have since been arrested and charged for 2 counts of drug trafficking. He has since been taken to the magistrate's court today, where he was fined a total of $25,000 for the 492 grams of cocaine and an additional $10,000 for the 29 grams of crack cocaine, and he was also sentenced to 3 years imprisonment.
2 more drug traffickers were busted by cops, this time in the Toledo district, also on Saturday evening at 5:30. PG cops were conducting an anti-drug operation in the San Pedro, Colombia area when they spotted 2 men carrying a bright orange bucket along with on a farm road, that is. When the men noticed the police getting closer, they abandoned the bucket and ran into nearby bushes. Police searched the bucket and found just over 13 pounds of compressed cannabis inside. The drugs were taken to the Punta Gorda police station, where they were labeled as found property. Police found even more weed near Yo Creek. Also on Saturday in Orange Walk, police conducted a search on an unmarked bus. As they were searching, one of the officers noticed Benjamin Herminio acting suspiciously and seemingly placing something on the floor. The cops searched Herminio and the area under his seat and found about 7 ounces of cannabis. Herminio was arrested and has since been charged with drug trafficking. Benque police busted one other Guatemalan resident for drug trafficking this weekend. Ruth Naomi Ordonez was searched and caught with almost a pound of weed in Cayo. ACP Joseph Mivett explained more.
Police officers, along with BDF, were conducting vehicular checkpoint within Benque Viejo town on the Arenal Road when they stopped and conducted searches on a gray in color Nissan taxi, and in that taxi was a female passenger whom searches were conducted on by a woman police constable, which resulted in the discovery of a black plastic bag containing 336 grams of cannabis. She was later identified as Ruth Naomi Ordonez, 39 years, Guatemalan, of a Santa Elena town address. She has since been arrested and charged for the offense of drug trafficking, where she also have been taken to court and was fined a total of $10,000 in default, 3 years imprisonment, and she was given time to pay that fine.
Ordonez was given 2 months to come up with the money to pay the fine. And we'll take a break now, but when we come back, we'll have the latest on the dangerous industrial fire on the Placencia Road. Don't go away.
True or false? You can vote in a referendum even if you don't register. False. You must be registered to be able to vote. If you want to vote in a referendum, register by March 10th, 2019.
Be informed. Visit our website or social media pages.
Strangers in the night. You should know this by now. You're my number one. Don't take my kindness for weakness.
queues and long lines are now things of the past. With our direct deposit service, all benefits will be paid directly to your bank or credit union account. Register for the direct deposit service today at any of our branch offices by providing proof of your bank account, which includes a copy of the bank or credit union account book with the account holder's name and number written clearly, or a printout of the online banking information showing the account holder's name and account number. As of October 1st, 2018, the direct deposit service will become mandatory to ensure that benefits are paid as quickly as possible. Social Security Board, safeguarding you, your family, your future.
Does the open road on a street cruiser sound like fun to you? What about riding through some dirt roads on a brand new Leafan trail bike? Perhaps zipping through the city is more your vibe. Whatever Leafan fits your lifestyle best, we've got it. Visit us or any of our distributors nationwide, or go online to see our wide range of Leafan motorcycles and parts. Leafan, bold, affordable, reliable.
People from all over the world, from the richest to the poorest, eat tamales. Some people can barely talk English. Some barely Spanish, but they want tamales and they love it. Living in Belize is life. We have one beautiful country. When you live in a valley like this, you don't trade it for nothing else.
Evening, miss. Give me a 100 piece at 21 now. How am I supposed to know if I win?
Ever been worried about not being in the loop? Worry no more with D-Loop. You can now stay in the loop and get all the information you need, like Fantasy 5, Pick 3, Bolito, and lots more. On top of that, you can choose to get it daily or only when you need it. To get D-Loop daily, send START and the keyword, example, Bolito, to 35667. You will receive a confirmation message. You shall then receive the content daily at a specific time. For example, you will receive the winning Bolito numbers around 9:30 p.m. after the live draw. To get D-Loop when you need it, send GET and the keyword, example, Bolito, to 35667. You will then receive the information immediately. So, stay in the loop with D-Loop.
Only with Digicel.
Dara Cyber Home Theatre and Red Strike Beer presents the 17th annual tribute to the late great Bob Marley and Food Drive. This colossal event is to be held at the Big Birds Isle on Sunday, February 10th from 4 p.m. until. Entertainment include DVD performance of Bob Marley on the big screen and live performance by Mile 41 Reggae Band. Selectors include Marcus Sparks, Father Church, DJ Special, and Johnny G. All backed up by Blue Steel Sounds. Hosted by Kenny G. Entrance fee is only $10. Sponsored by Smart, the Belize City Council, Atlantic Insurance, Leslie's Imports, Love Entertainment, Vibes Media and TV, Creme TV, Creme Radio, Amandala, AAA Loans, Office of the Music Ambassador, Mitch, Pratt's Fried Chicken, Fiangela's Press Limited, the Social Security Board, the Ministry of Education, Channel 7, Wave TV, Wave Radio, Travelers Limited, the Garden Newspaper, Quick Stop Personal Finance Center, and Campari.
On Wednesday night at 8, tune in for a special presentation on Channel 7. Hit Me With Your Best Shot, where Jules Vasquez and Adeli Ramos take on Asad Schumann. They'll challenge this champion of the ICJ and ask, is ICJ really the only way? Find out on Wednesday night at 8.
We do these things without thinking, to keep our possessions safe. And yet, we think twice about doing this. even though calling Crime Stoppers is an anonymous way to make our homes, schools, and communities safer, which helps to protect the people we care about. Call Crime Stoppers to anonymously report criminal activity in your area. By working together, we can make our Belize a safer place. This message is brought to you by Crime Stoppers Belize and this station.
I feel like these days paying attention to our kids is essential. We have so much factors introduced into our life where we need to pay more attention and be keen on what's happening around us.
When I'm driving with kids, before we even go anywhere, there are rules.
After speaking like 2 times and there's nobody listening, I pull over the car. I can't look back. I have to pay attention to the road. My eyes need to be on the road at all times. Because as much as I want them to stop, looking away is putting their life in danger and mine and everybody else on the road. So I have to keep my eyes on the road. There could be another mom coming the opposite way doing the same thing. None of us paying attention to the road. Sometimes the accidents that takes away that person's life is not their fault. It's somebody else's fault. So we have to be safe for everybody.
On the wings of a snow white dove, he sends his pure, sweet love, a sign from above. Sign from above. On the wings of a dove. Wings of a dove. When troubles surround us, when evils come, the body grows weak, the spirit grows numb. When these things beset us, God doesn't forget us. He sends down His love on the wings of a dove. On the wings of a snow white dove, He sends His pure, sweet love, a sign from above. Sign from above. On the wings of a dove. Wings of a dove. When Noah had drifted on the flood many days, he searched for land.
Again tonight, there is a raging industrial fire at the Belize Aquaculture Limited. That's the shrimp farm at Mile 4 on the Placencia Road. The greatest concern at this hour, according to a fire department public advisory, is the fact that it is the storage building on fire, and that contains an unknown quantity of ammonia and chlorine, which are toxic if inhaled. So, there are concerns that fumes from these toxic chemicals could reach the nearest villages, Santa Rosa and Santa Cruz, which are 4 miles downwind of the fire. Villagers are being warned if smoke does reach them, they will have to evacuate to a safe area. The fire department also warns if anyone suffers symptoms from smoke inhalation, move them outside to get fresh air and seek medical attention immediately. We'll have more on this developing story tomorrow. We've already reported on 2 Belize City murders tonight, and now there is news of one more. A Hispanic male was found with a vicious chop wound to the back of his head at mile 4 on the Western Highway this evening. The man was just identified, but we cannot release the name until his family has been notified. But we do know that police have a suspect whose vehicle was just found abandoned on the boulevard. We'll have more on this tomorrow. A man who escaped from prison and was recaptured has been charged. He's 29-year-old David Medina, a Guatemalan. He escaped from the Belize Central Prison on July 23rd of 2018. Today he pleaded guilty to escape before Magistrate Emerson Banner. He was fined $500 and he was given until February 28th to pay. Medina was captured on the same day he escaped in the bushes around the prison. Medina was serving time for 4 fisheries offenses and an immigration offense of illegal entry. The fisheries offenses were engaging in commercial fishing while not being the holder of a valid fisherman's license, use of a vessel in commercial fishing while not being the holder of a valid fisherman's license, facilitating a person to engage in commercial fishing while not being the holder of a valid fisherman's license, and use of gill net within Port Honduras Marine Reserve. Tonight, the Department of the Environment is deciding whether or not it will bring assault charges against Diane Zabané for assaulting an environmental officer. You saw what happened on Friday when the DOE went with the GSU to enforce a stop order that had been issued 6 days earlier. Jules Vasquez looks back at the very defiant history of parcel 4670 in the Buttonwood Bay area.
You know, we won't stop. We won't stop. And we don't make nobody stop we. And if the ministers, they want to stop me, tell them send a gunman for come stop me.
13 years later, that is just what the state had to do after a defiant Zabané continued to pile on hundreds of truckloads of fill 1 week after he got a stop order from the Department of the Environment. That is why on Friday afternoon, the department's officers went out there with the GSU. But for defiant Dion Zabané, it hardly mattered. He taunted and threatened the environmental officers and dared the GSU to lock him down while they kept their guns down.
Make them lock you up. Make them lock you up, man. They have to lock you up. Make them lock you up. Make them lock you up. Make them do an illegal lock.
They didn't lock him down or react to the very wound up Zabané, even when he had words for their boss.
Tell Chester stop, make the user. Tell Chester make stop user. Stop, they do dirty work. The world is wrong. You don't know who, them balik all. The days are done. The new man will come around this country. Tell Chester stop to deal with that old head.
Instead, the GSU calmly reasoned with a shouting man.
But then the use on Then the use on Yeah, but that why the court not bring the bailiff for injunction? That day? No, that's not all other funny court. Why the court not bring an injunction then? No, but then I comply. The bogus in the pan. The bogus in the pan. Come on in the pan.
In the end, though, after all that hollering and grandstanding, Zabané did comply and moved off the property. And he hasn't been back since. We'll see where it goes from here.
On Friday, the DOE had orders to arrest and detain, but he did clear out as instructed within 30 minutes. The department's legal counsel is advising the DOE officers on their options in regards to whether they want to press charges of assault. You're probably asking what's with that very cold squall that swept across Belize yesterday evening around 5:30. Well, it's a fast-moving cold front, but an intense one that looked like a winter hurricane all along the Yucatan Peninsula. Here is some footage from Sartineja, where the waves were wild and winds of about 25 miles per hour. Further up the coast in Mexico, those winds felled trees and caused a scare at the maritime ports. Cold front number 31 landed in the Cancun Playa del Carmen region Sunday afternoon with winds of 40 miles per hour. The cold front lasted only about an hour and a half, that is, and toppled lampposts and trees. The severe weather conditions were due to the junction of cold fronts 30 and 31 on the Yucatan Peninsula. Due to the strong winds and heavy rain, 22 flights were diverted from the Cancun International Airport, making a safe landing at nearby airports in Belize and Merida. And that ends our newscast for tonight. Thanks for watching with your news. I'm Indira Craig. Remember that you can check us out at 7 News Belize for a look of our newscast. Join me tomorrow, and until then, have a great night.
Welcome to the program. Venezuela's Attorney General has asked the Supreme Court to open a preliminary investigation into self-proclaimed President Juan Guaido. He's also called on the court to freeze the opposition leader's bank accounts and to impose a travel ban on him. On Monday, the U.S. imposed its toughest ever sanctions on Venezuela's state-owned oil company PDVSA and froze $7 billion worth of its assets. And earlier, the UN warned that a government crackdown on anti-Maduro protesters has led to a record number of detentions.
Just on 23rd of January, that, if you recall, was the biggest day last Wednesday. There were at least, we now believe, 696 people detained on that day alone throughout the country as a whole. Lawyers are still receiving information which they are verifying. This is the highest number of detentions recorded in a single day since for at least 20 years.
Alessandra Ampietti has been following events from neighboring Colombia and joins us now from Bogota. Are you getting a sense of the reaction there to these latest moves against Juan Guaido?
Well, Guaido spoke just a little after the Attorney General announced his request to the country's Supreme Court, and he said that while he is, of course, worried about the possibility of being incarcerated, he's saying that these attacks are nothing new, that they're part of a chain of attacks on part of the Maduro government against his persona and the opposition and the National Assembly in general, as they are trying indeed to bring down the regime of Nicolás Maduro, push the country towards a transition period and new elections.
Alessandra, does it suggest that Guaido may at some point, perhaps sooner than later,
Digifans, now staying up all night with Digicel's late night data pass just got better. Now from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m., data lovers can enjoy 2 gigabytes of data for only $2.50. Do all the things you love to do. And if that's still not enough data, you can get a whopping 4 gigabytes of data for only $4. That's just insane. Stay up all night watching Netflix, surfing, chatting, snapping, whatever you want to do. Just dial star 100 pound to purchase, or purchase using the DigiGo app. It's even easier. Don't miss out on Digicel's late night data pass. More data for less.
It's that time again. We know you've saved up all year for our huge discounts at Universal Hardware's Friends and Family Sale Day. It's our chance to give back, to show